you know, I think I'm probably the senior member, certainly out of all the coaches. So I had 36 years with Fran and a number of years with his bride Charlotte. And you know, I mean, nobody loved Penn State more. And you know, I saw him about a week ago, and his game was still tight. You know, I mean, he was still a upbeat, happy guy, and you know, loved his affiliation with Penn State. So it was, you know, sad loss, but you know, he had a great run. You know, as I said last night to Jeff, you know, he was like you know, one of the last of the Mohicans. You know what I mean? He just he loved everything about Penn State, and was kind of a walking history for the young people that didn't know much of what was going on. On a more up note, any other questions?
I've always sort of been curious. The basketball tournament has been done for a while, but do you watch Kentucky go for that undefeated season and see that process differently, having gone through something like that? What is that sort of that challenge like?
Well, I mean, I think the Kentucky challenge was that the coach actually had enough players to have two teams. And his early decision was he was going to platoon them and see how that worked. So having had some teams that won undefeated, it's really hard to go undefeated. It's hard to get enough minutes in that sport for all your players. But you know, post-tournament, I think you know, what the coach said was, you know, he wouldn't do that again. You know, he wouldn't go with the two platoon concept. But you know, I think it's whatever sport you're in, it's hard to win. So you know, but you know, and unfortunately, in some situations, and we've been in this situation, and I think Cael has been in the situation where if you don't win, people think you've underachieved. You can finish second in the country, you can finish third or fourth in the country, and people not in the know think that you really underachieved when it's really hard.
The off season's been good. You know, we're in wrestling. We go right from the college season right into freestyle, and we have our senior level guys, and also our obviously our younger kids wrestling freestyle. But things are going good. Just work in the rooms full every day. You know, which is good to see. Obviously, we can't have anything to do with that. We just show up, and if the guys are there, there's a practice basically at the college level. But things are going good. We're excited. Guys are excited about next year. You know, we've got a good group of young kids. They'll be you know, stepping in as redshirt freshmen next year that bring a lot of passion and fire. We're going to have Nico back. We're going to have Zane Rutherford back. So there's a lot of energy in the room right now.
You guys brought some hardware home from Vegas as a club. A little mixed results, I mean, Barn obviously lost, but Kessar won. I mean, what were your overall impressions of that freestyle tournament?
Well, you know, we were happy about winning the cup. We got a real strong regional training center, and that's a big deal to us. But overall, I thought the guys wrestled well. You know, David Taylor won as well. Sar won the junior field, which is a different age group. But our younger guys, I thought, wrestled well. Zane looked great. I think he made some progress on his opponent, which is good to see. And Nall's first freestyle tournament of his life, and was very impressive. He lost. He gave up a lot of gut wrenches, headlocks, and front headlocks, things that he's not used to worrying about. But I think you can see his potential when he does focus in on freestyle. I mean, that's a guy that can go a long way internationally. But you know, things are going well. The World Team Trials are in 4 weeks, so that's where guys are preparing for now. That's really the tournament that is important. Obviously, the Nationals will get you there, but to make the World Team and make the national team, you got to perform at the World Team Trials.
I like it. You and I talked about this about a month and a half, 2 months ago, I think. I was actually in favor of 24. and the 3-second defensive rule that they have in the NBA. Obviously, it's going to speed up the game. There's going to be more possessions. What does that mean? Does that mean poor shots? Does that mean more turnovers?
I say yes.
It could,
yeah.
but once we all adjust, and I think the adjustment for me is, I'm gonna pick up full court more. We have that 3/4 court press. I think we have the athletes now to pick up 94 by 50 feet. So we're going to do some different things to create turnovers, to create easier baskets. I worked on a drill all last year, everything under 12 seconds without a ball screen. Just play basketball, see what we can do. And down the stretch, that really helped us. I like the 30 seconds. I think it's going to speed up the game, obviously, and I think it's going to be more entertaining for fans.
So your argument is that more easy shots on transition is better basketball?
I think that we're going to, everybody in this, I'm going to push the ball. I'm going to tell you that, more so than I did last year.
And the point of the press is to chop 6, 8, 10 seconds off the shot clock, and then they got to rush a shot.
Now they're only dealing with 15 seconds.
Yes.
So you press, I think more teams are going to press. That's why you have to have long, athletic players and a team that can be able to do that. And if you do that, now everybody's dealing with under 15 seconds, which is a lot harder than with 35.
Was DJ not invited to the combine? Or?
You know what? The response that I received was he played so well down at Portsmouth. Every team puts together 60 guys, and I think they all felt like, well, we saw what he can do. We won a championship. He was vote below the guy from VCU, maybe a little home cook in there. But from speaking with his agent and some NBA guys that I'm very familiar with, they felt like, we already saw him, so now he's already into his workouts. He's got a ton of workouts coming up, so hopefully he continues to improve and get better. He's already dropped like 10 pounds. He's right around 205. He's interviewed really well. Because when you're down at Portsmouth, they interview you down in the hotel lobby. And I went down and spent time with him, visited with him when he was down there, and everybody that I bumped in and saw who interviewed DJ said, really confident kid. Not cocky, but extremely confident in a humble way.
What would you see his role being at that next level? I mean, we talked about Tim Frazier and how he kind of had to adjust his game. Do you think DJ would have to, not adjust it in that way, but adjust it in some way to fit?
You know what, I think DJ's a combo. He's 6'4". He can play the point. He's done that for us for a couple of years. I think he's a very good decision maker off ball screens. He doesn't have to take the shot every time now. With us, he had to take a lot of shots. And the court's going to be more open. So he can play the one, and he'll be an undersized two, but I think he's like a bull. He's so strong that he'll be able to guard the two. And if he's playing the point, well, there's some tiny guys out there. He can probably post them up. So I think teams, he might not be a starter in this league, but I think he can come off the bench and spell at the 1, the 2, and they're looking for guys who can make shots. I mean, they're looking for guys who can put the ball in the basket. And if he can do that consistently, I think he's got a really good chance.
Excited to be in Philadelphia. Got a bunch of friends and actually family coming either today or tomorrow, today or tonight. So looking forward to that. Got a bunch of players from this area and hope to have a bunch more, but just a lot of positive things. We had a team meeting. Sunday night because summer school started on Monday, and I think everybody's really excited, about the direction of where we're going. One of the things I talked to them about briefly was just we talk about in the summertime the players truly taking ownership of the team and running with it. And we talked about that same thing last year, but it was really challenging and difficult for them to do that last year when they didn't completely understand the expectations and the schemes and things like that. So now after having some real time invested into it, the guys can really take control of it and get a lot of work done on their own. So I'm excited about that. So things are good. A lot of positive things happening right now. A lot of positive pieces falling into place. And looking forward to being back here to open the season at the Link against Temple, who's returning everybody this year, almost their entire roster. And I know their coach, Coach Rule, who's a State College native, good guy I've gotten to know. I know he's talking about championships, championships in their conference. So it should be a great game, I think, for the state, and a great game for both universities.